So I was thinking about some things. And one of the things that I was thinking about was relationships today. And, I was asked not too long ago, what were my thoughts on relationships? I get asked that question, even in person. It's like weird. My thoughts on relationships now, they're just really up to personalities and timing and what they've always been up to. Watching things happen and things play out a lot more faster, and it seems a lot more common because it's on the internet, and it probably is a lot more common, probably even more common than we think, not just because of the internet. So the internet has definitely changed the trajectory of relationships, but also in a lot of cases have awakened people to what things really were, and really what they're going to be. Also even pushing a mindset, even if it's a trend, towards something, or maybe away from something. The funny thing about cheating, and I'm not for cheating. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? On both sides, it does suck. If there's no honesty in, what you may have going on, or vice versa. Being in a relationship, But on a man's behalf, hasn't really gotten, it hasn't, and again, it hasn't, really gotten examined. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players know that, and some will even say that it is a man going behind his woman's back to go find a piece of happiness. And, I've been on both sides of the coin. I used to, I never cheated. Like, it's funny. I never cheated. Like, I would say the majority of my situations were honest. And I was harping on that for a long time, until I ended up finding myself in a relationship, and I ended up cheating. I'm not even gonna lie. It was one of my less proud moments, because I really harped on it, for a long time. And when I found myself in that situation, I wasn't new to it because I didn't learn a lot then. I was kind of loathing, once it dawned on me that, hey, that kind of technically, I found out like that, like, I found out I was cheating and shit, it kind of just dawned on me, technically, I wouldn't want her doing that, and that's not a big thing with me. Where I found out the most game about cheating is being the guy. And, and I found out a lot too by being the boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? Because being the other guy, it let me know how, blind, not even blind, but like, how ignorant I was to, the real world and the Matrix. And it is an action thing, definitely, but for me, it was more so of a paying attention kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because certain actions wouldn't occur if people were paying attention, and certain actions didn't occur because people wasn't paying attention, if you get my drift. So I learned more by being the other man. More to the side of the woman that I ended up cheating on was actually in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because technically, what I did was cheating. So I was kind of like ass deep in it already. But then again, she wasn't no saint, and she wasn't no angel. But whether she is or was, it still didn't, justify my actions. So I take full accountability and responsibility, And honestly, I found myself doing it. And this is not a confession on me. This is actually just getting to the greater game that what we're going to talk about. This ain't no confession on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about it. You know, it was a bum situation anyway. Not even a bum, but it was more of it was a dead situation. When I found out I was cheating, or what I did technically was cheating, the situation was on the down anyway. It was on the slope anyway. And honestly, it still doesn't, she broke something trustworthy with me. So I guess what I did started out of spite, and then I guess I saw it through. And then when it came to me, technically it was cheating. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact I would never do nothing like that. You know, if somebody did that, like I literally would just leave or whatever, because honestly, I kind of, it sucks. I ain't gonna lie, both ways, right? But let's get into like the actual act. That's kind of what I wanted to warm this situation up on the premise of cheating, especially if you're in a marriage. It's different if you're in a marriage. You can't do what I do and say, well, hey, you know what I'm saying? We both go our separate ways. It's not that easy, especially if you got kids. Can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And all of that stuff I just named will make a nigga want to leave the house and go look for some whatever happiness. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know why I brought up the happiness thing. Maybe I'm thinking of Patrice O'Neal a little too much. But the thing is that, a man gets to be who he wants with his side chick, with his jump off. And it's probably a woman that he normally wouldn't get unless he had some type of feminine energy around him, which will make him be another version of himself, which may be more appealing to women. Listen to the words that I'm saying and understand what you're hearing. Okay? I'm giving y'all some game. So, the side girl gets the real man to a certain degree. The side girl gets who he really wants to be to a certain degree. But the wife knows the real man. You know what I'm saying? That's the undeniable, effect. When we get to what we're talking about. The wife knows the real man. You know what I'm saying? So the side chick may get the real man, it's lucrative for certain women, a lot of women, but mind you, to become side women. But the wife knows the real man. See, sometimes what we're leaving out is that we all grow together. And when you're in a relationship with somebody that was your high school sweetheart, especially if she rejected you when y'all first met or whatever, or whatever the case may be, you have the one-nightus or whatever. A lot of times, we tend to forget that we're growing up with people. You know what I'm saying? We're growing up with people. So what I mean by that is that if you have a man and you've been with them for a long time, sometimes you guys might outgrow each other, especially couples, people that have been together for a long time, 2-3 years they treat each other a certain way, and the next 2-3 years it's another way. It could be whatever. It depends on what type of relationship you have going on and how you both cherish your relationship together. But don't just think this is with the men. This is with the women also, which is what I'm telling you. It goes both ways. Don't believe the hype, okay? Sometimes it's with you. Sometimes it's with your women. Sometimes it's both of y'all. A lot of times, and this isn't to keep your conscience together, but a lot of times both of y'all cheating on each other. You just got caught first, or vice versa. And I'm going to tell you the truth. That woman is sloppy like that, one, she is stupid hoe. She's a stupid. Let me stop. But nah, number one, she wanted you to see it, or she just don't give a fuck ass bitch. You know, women be getting caught up too. This ain't on the women, fellas. This is on us. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. You know, a lot of times your woman will enable you to have access to other women that you haven't had access before. Player once said that if you're not with a type of woman or never experienced what I'm talking about, you're probably with the wrong woman. Or you're probably a very lucky man that wifed up I wouldn't say a pick-me, but, you know, a starter joint. You know, y'all be sleeping on the starter chicks. And when I said that I used to be the other guy, I'm not saying that to glorify that I've taken women from other men. No. What I mean by the other guy was I've literally just been regularly dating, and I ended up running into women that ended up being on their departure from other relationships but haven't yet closed the door yet. Because a lot of women are in messy situations, and they stay in messy situations due to how they date, because they monkey branch and they swing from people. So usually if I know the girl's in a situation like that, I would approach the situation with caution, because I know how relationships go and things work. You know, I even found it bummy behavior, to tell you the truth. But I understand it. Honestly, like I said, I never went and looked for those situations. Honestly, one will say if you want a certain type of woman, you can entertain those situations. But you don't have to. The reality of the matter is a lot of people are in whatever condition they're in before they date you. Whether you grew up with them for the longest time or just got them, you know, or whatever situation you entertain. So it came with me in a lot of cases. I just had to observe a lot. And then I started getting good at it. Can tell the ones that had a man and the ones that didn't have a man, or the ones you can start learning that from women. They wear their emotions on their sleeve. And plus, they tell on themselves these days in a different way. You know, a lot of women back in the day, they appeared more mysterious because the women of yesteryear, they actually shut up and actually kept stuff to themselves, not today's women. So it's like dudes' imagination with women run wild, and some of it can be obliged. That's not always a good thing. But you got the guy that, you know, for whatever reason, you know, he gets wealthy, he marries his high school sweetheart or the first woman next to him, you know, when you start getting paper, which is the honorable thing to do, whether if that person helped you with what you got going on or not. I mean, kind of like a moment type thing and a proximity thing, if you ask me. But it happens. And a lot of times, you know, there's a relationship and kids or whatever, you know, part of those situations. But the guy that becomes wealthy and brings his women and kids with him into his new situation that he's pretty sure elated to have, the situation that he brings into that wealth or that lifestyle or whatever he may have built or carved out for himself, the reality of bringing who you have with you into that situation doesn't always fit the mold. And when you're getting notoriety and you deal with women and you talk to women on a day-to-day basis, and you basically are playing with fire for a living, you know, and you're becoming desired or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? You're tempting, like you're literally flirting to really solidify what position you feel you have. with what you have going on. Basically, I'm talking about Derek Jackson. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're playing with the fire daily. This could happen in a bunch of situations, but we're just going to speak of his in particular, right? You're going to fold. You know, I don't know if the divorce rumors, a lot of people say it was true. I don't know if it's true or not. It's goofy. We just watching the situation, but it is what it is. What I'm saying is more valid than ever and will be for years, you know. Honestly, his wife wouldn't be in a better situation leaving. I'm just saying. I mean, of course, she can get a divorce. She can do whatever she wants. But honestly, you know, she got some stuff with her too. You know, she's one of the quick to run to the Bible type women. Them women got some stuff with them too, whether good, bad, right, or wrong. So sometimes you can't just look at, you know, people, their relationship, and, you know, one's behavior and not observe the other one. You know, not saying that she deserves to be cheated on. You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes I'm just saying it's no coincidence, you know, that when Derek Jackson, you know, felt that he got the money or whatever, he caved in to a certain degree. He went after what he wanted. You know, a man, quote unquote, has to give up his boat. A woman doesn't give up her boat. You know, her being in a relationship, you know, the trade-off, you know, her being in a relationship doesn't automatically make her unattractive. It takes her off the market, but it doesn't automatically make her unattractive. As a matter of fact, it might even make her more attractive. So a man's SMV does go up when he has a woman, or he's in the presence of a woman, or you know, he has a, you know, rotational roster. It goes up with a lot of other things, but I'm specifically talking about being around women in, you know, pertinence to other women. You know what I'm saying? A man that's being properly cared for and treated right becomes a whole new man, especially in the eyes of other women. Women would just flock to you for no reason. They will smell the pheromones, don't even realize it, of your wife on you. And, you know, you always got something to go home to if it's like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of dudes ain't tripping on, you know, on the shit too much. But sometimes the reason why you leave and go look for happiness is because it's not like that at home. You know, it creates deception in and of itself. You know, a wandering eye, you know. So, just thinking about it, you know, just kind of opening up the game on that situation. Like I said, the real woman knows the real man, but in a lot of cases, the side woman gets the real man. And a lot of women are open for those relationships. As a matter of fact, that's what a lot of women do. It's actually more of a trait on behalf of a lot of women on men than it is vice versa, you know, of you being the other man, you know. But both does happen. And it can happen no matter what side of desirability you are on, you know, when it pertains to the opposite sex, you know. But it is a position. And a lot of people don't like a strings attached thing going on. So some people will prefer their partners that they deal with already in a situation. So, you know, I don't condone cheating, but to say people don't do it, I think that's BS. And when we can't talk about situations like this helps create a community of dudes that say goofy shit and talk down about the game and stuff like that. They just have no idea of what side of the board they're on. And they really don't have a compass to navigate where they are so they can even move forward in their lives. So we're a little bit past, about 15 years past the age of the internet, where a lot of guys will vicariously live through other men. At this point, we should just start talking about the effects, because it is what it is. Well, that was my TED Talk for today. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure you guys support the channel. Definitely support it, especially when you get in the game like this, throughout your day or night, But, it would be, very, important, that you guys leave a like, share, comment, hit the super things, support the channel. We out. Because it's funny. A lot of y'all want that girl till you actually get that girl. Player talk.